It's a shame we're easily amused. The only cure for this forward motion is to make emotion fly away. The air is cold, but the water's not frozen. I see ripples rolling every day. Cast a stone and get a hardcore view. Catchphrase of the day is that it's true. There's no coffee talk and only one way to please. It's a shame what you do moves me. The only cure for this forward motion is to make emotion fly away.
Ta-da! We're here.
And I started out muted as
Yes.
yes. I've got to be consistent.
Yeah.
Got to give
Yeah.
everybody what you want.
Yeah. So we're back here again in the I'm in the old Pueblo, as they call Tucson, and we have been given a reprieve on the 110 and 115 degree temperatures. We've been having the monsoons coming through every afternoon. So the temperature's been getting up to almost 100, and then next thing you know, it's 85. It's raining hard, but we really need the water. So
we do too. It's crazy here. Like all of our grass is brown, which is not normal for New England. Usually everything was really green.
Yeah. So we have a fun guest tonight. That would be Ron.
Yep. From Cosmic Neighbors. We've got Ron on here with us. Should be a good time.
It should be fun. And are we going to talk about Antarctica, or is that a...
Yes, we could. Yeah, Antarctica, Nazis, UFOs, all the good stuff.
Yeah. All the hot points.
That's right. Yeah, all the things that make everyone nervous. We're talking about.
Yeah, because the one when we started talking to Ron about Antarctica, this is just prior to 9/11. Mm-hmm. I had submitted to Air Force a request to fly from McCord Air Force Base to Christchurch, stopping over for a couple of days in Hawaii, mm-hmm. and cover the resupply of Antarctica by the United States Air Force. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to do an article for Air Force Magazine. Mm-hmm. And it was given a tentative thumbs up. And then, of course, 9/11 happened. Ugh. And I just, everything fell by the wayside. So I'm very tempted to try to resurrect that. I think the more I think about it, the more fun it sounds like it will be. I mean, so yeah. I really want to do. I want to do something along those lines. So, I spent time in Alaska and I spent time in Minnesota. So mm-hmm. I have seen minus 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And the coldest wind chill we ever had was Minneapolis. We had 100 below zero wind chill.
Oh my God!
It was January 15th and 16th are the two coldest days of the year, and those are the 2 days that hold all the records. And I hadn't been in Minnesota that long. I think it was my third year. January 15th, I'm at Ridgedale, which is a shopping center in north end of town, or west end of town, I should say. And I got in there. The wind is blowing about 30 miles an hour, mm-hmm. and it is 36 below zero, I think it was. And I ran in the store real fast, came out, got back in my car, put the key in ignition, and it went click, 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 click.
Oh no.
Fortunately, the guy right next to me had just pulled up. He had jumper cables. But you talk about cold.
Mhm.
When you have a 40-mile-an-hour winter and it's almost 40 below zero, you can't get warm. Enzo, how's it going? Yeah. I've been to Isleston at 71 below, so
Ugh.
it is. And I've also walked from a nightclub in Fairbanks. I think it was 40 some odd below zero. I had been dancing for about 3 hours. I was sopping wet. And I was going from one club. I was going about a block. I had my jacket in my hand. It looked like I was on fire because I'm there with short sleeveless shirt at 40 below zero, dead calm. You can just see the ice crystals hanging in the air.
Oh my God.
As I'm walking to the next hot spot, I mean, literally, steam is just pouring off me.
Wow.
I was really hot back then. Yeah.
You still are, Jim. You still are.
Oh, okay.
Still got
Okay.
it.
All right. Yeah,
Oh
so-
my gosh. No, that sounds absolutely miserable. Like I
And the-
can't be cold like that.
And the thing about Anchorage, or I think about Alaska, you think because you got so friggin' cold, how could the mosquitoes survive? And
They're
the mosquitoes are so huge there, they carry N numbers. They have to clear their flight path with FAA. And
It's true.
I remember I worked 3 days on, 3 days off when I was up there. And I had a friend of mine who drove, he was a civilian, drove tanker trucks for Union Oil, Unical. And if my time on came on a weekend, I had that time off. So I could have 5-6 days in a row, sometimes even more, depending on if it was a 3-day weekend. It didn't make much money, so I had to do something to keep myself occupied. So Art would always enjoyed having someone along with him. So we're heading up to a road construction site about 100 miles due east of Mount McKinley. It's just rolling tundra, and these guys will work until they can't stay awake any longer. They'll go into the Quonset hut. They'll lean back, sleep for maybe an hour, get up and go back and do it. And they'll never change their clothes for the 2.5-3 months they're there.
Ugh.
And they make everybody else doing the same thing. So it's
They all smell bad together.
you become nose blind after a while. And I'm in the cab. The engine's running. He's getting ready to offload some stuff. And all of a sudden he comes back to the rig and he said, turn the rig off and close all the vents. You don't close it. You don't shut down a diesel, but okay. So I shut everything down and I'm looking to the west and it looks like a Texas dust storm. It is horizon to horizon, maybe 1,000 feet high, and it's rolling towards us.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking to myself, it's kind of misty out here. How in the heck can we have a dust storm? And then it hit. This dust storm that you couldn't see through the densest part was a swarm of mosquitoes.
It's like my worst nightmare.
Black and white ones about that big. They have black and white stripes on the body. If you were out there, they would find you. All it would be is dry skin and bones. Every drop of fluid you had in your body would have been sucked out by these, these miniature vampires. And they can give you a welt. Now the males you can't hear, and they don't bite. It's the females. It's the broads.
We're vicious.
But they'll give you a welt the size and thickness of a silver dollar.
Oh my gosh. Oof.
And if you got stuck up there, I think the only way out would be to.
Yeah, for real. I think I would kill myself for sure.
I don't know how you could deal with the. It just drives you crazy, absolutely crazy.
That is.
So,
that's horrifying. Thank you. I'll have nightmares tonight.
Okay. God, I can help. Yeah. Now should we bring Ron on before he thinks we forgot about him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right. Ron, welcome.
Greetings.
How you doing? I took a nap. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ron, what part of the world are you in? Are you located?
In New York City, in Queens, New York, right now.
Nice.
Yeah. It was funny. While I was just listening to your stories,
Uh-huh.
I was just thinking, I was going, wow. Now I remember getting him and Michael in a room together. All you have to do is introduce them and say, go.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's it. And then you can just sit back and that's all.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was talking to Michael yesterday, and I put him together. I think I mentioned earlier, I put him together with Joel Christopher Payne. And Joel he's a Disney artist. He does. He said things have been tight because Disneyland and Disney World were closed for a year and a half.
Wow.
But they have tons of his artwork in there for sale. And Michael had been working with a gentleman. I think I'm not even sure where he lives. I think it's down in Irvine area, Orange County. And he was paying some pretty good money for pencil renderings, and they were good. But I said, no, he needs color, and Joel could do this for him. So I put them together. Michael actually drove down from Santa Barbara area to where Joel lives. He lives in Temecula. I think it's Temecula. San Diego County, North County, they call it. And they got together, and it was instant click. And he's Michael and Joel are going to team up, and it's going to be fantastic.
That's
be
awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah, he has over 300 binders that are 8 inches thick that are loaded with drawings.
Amazing.
And support documentation for all these crash events.
I'm sorry. I just because I forget things, so you're going to learn that real fast. I forget real quick.
What was your name again?
Ron. There you go. I'm surprised I remembered. Right. So,
yeah.
Michael, when I hooked up with him earlier this year, that's when we do the show together over the recreations of dioramas, but when he was impressed with the first one that I did, so without saying anything to because it's not my right to reveal certain things, but he called me and he put a gentleman on the phone, and they're looking to build out Midwest. I think it's in New Mexico. I could be wrong, but it's out Midwest. They're going to build a 30,000 plus foot visitor center, research center, like a museum, and for UFOs. Wow. and paranormal, I guess too, but I think mostly UFOs. And I believe Michael, they're going to house all his binders there, like that. So that's going to be there, and they want me also to, fortunate enough to put my dioramas on display there. That's why the ones I'm working on now is taking me long. I have to make sure they're done right, but yeah, so those binders, I'm curious to see them too. I heard they're legendary, 300, giant binders like that.
He when he flies somewhere, and he's actually, Saturday, he's flying to Vegas, and he's meeting with Allie Lear. Because Allie, and she came up to me at John Lear's memorial service, and I've known Allie since she was a little girl. And she said, you're one of my dad's oldest and dearest friends. Who would you recommend that I turn my dad's collection over to? I said, there's only one person that can do it justice, and that's Michael Schratt. Mm-hmm. And it's been 6 or 7 months since John passed away. I was getting a little bit worried that is she going to forget about him, and she didn't. She called him up, and they're actually going to go do a brief go through this coming weekend in Vegas. So that's going to be exciting.
Nice.
But he gets in there with Joel. He gets in there with Dr. Greer. Has been helping him. He is a one of a kind. No one does it better than Michael Schratt when it comes to research.
I know the people in ufology appreciate Michael, but I really don't think they know what they have with him. Like he's a gem. The guy is a gem.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
from what I'm learning, every time I speak with him, I feel honored to talk. The guy is just incredible. Like that, he's incredible.
The thing about Michael doesn't interject his own opinion in his presentations. He's like Sergeant Friday from Dragnet. These are the facts, only the facts. The names have been changed to protect the innocent, and that's what makes Michael so special. Because when he does a thorough investigation, he won't present it on his Blue Room Media or in his any of his presentations if he doesn't have all the facts, all his ducks lined up. So no one does it. No one presents it better. I knew Michael over 20 years before I heard him speak on the subject for the first time. And that was in Lauren Felton's gathering in the beginning of March 2020, and it was the only MUFON function for the calendar year in 2020. And I went there to get, that was the first time I ever get to talk at a UFO function. And Michael was there, gave his presentation, and I was so impressed with him. And I said, Michael, I've known you over 20 years, and I knew you were knowledgeable, and I knew you were good. You were a good speaker. I didn't know how good. And the thing about Michael doesn't have a very high level of self-esteem, and it's criminal. He's always been a nerd, and I was picked on a nerd. I was that fat little Jimmy Goodall with the crew cut, and God forbid I went to Los Altos High School, but I'm from Mountain View. I'm from Silicon Valley. This is when Mountain View was yuck, middle class to lower middle class, and Los Altos was all upper crust, So I understand where he's coming from. I was picked on. I was made fun of. And what's ironic today, there are some people from the class of 1963 from Los Altos High School that I correspond with and interact on a regular basis on Facebook. And in 1963, they wouldn't have given me the time of day. and it's amazing how things change. And people that you knew 1,000 years ago figured they were going to go one way, and then as it turns out, they go 180 degrees out. So,
yep.
And I guess that's
But I'm sorry, but Michael is like you said. The close on him is I was opposite, like beat up the bullies like that. I didn't like bullies like that. So, and I remember we had a bunch of you know who you don't want to call them geeks, smart kids, the ones that were already well grounded, and I hated the bullies. And I wasn't a tough guy, but I just hated them, and I didn't have it with them. Even to this day, I'm like that. But Michael, when I talk to him, I don't know. You know what's weird? I feel like you want to protect him like that when he talks and everything. And he's, but I'm glad he's really, really good guy. And he's a really good guy. And he's just walking ufology encyclopedia. And that's it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's brilliant. So,
hey, Ryan, you've been garbling a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
internet
have
might be breaking up a little or something.
Am I?
A little bit, yeah. You're kind of going in and out every so often.
All right, let me see what I can do. That's
Okay.
strange.
You sound good now.
Okay, let me see. Maybe close some tabs. I don't know why. That's weird. Do I sound okay right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sound great now.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That's weird. Who knows? It's maybe just one of those things.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Everything's connected. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
will
But I would close every tab that you're not using. I would close.
You know what it is too. Oh, give me 1 second. Let me see something.
Mhm. The cat will talk while you're working.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the internet's fine. No, you know what? One thing is, although I love using Chrome is a beast. Like
Oh, okay.
every tab of Chrome opens up a bunch more resources, and it just is a beast, Chrome. So every tab it's just, so I just closed a bunch of them.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
I will do the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it does make a big difference.
Oh, it does, because every tab uses memory. Like if you have 3 tabs open, you're using almost like 2 gigs of RAM. It just uses everything, and
Yep.
I will have like 8 tabs open under 2 like profiles.
Yeah, but you seem smooth, so you can do that. I mean, only time you really need to do that is if you're because right now the way I have it, I'm not plugged in at the moment. I'm just on my Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi is super strong. Like I just checked my upload speeds, 90 megs a second, which means the transfer rate's over 11. So it's good, but having the Chrome and all that. Let's see if it happens again, though. Let me know.
Okay.
I may have to unplug it and do something.
Okay. All right.
Will do. Will do.
Oh,
All
and
right.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
I just
please.
wanted to say something when people listen, because Jim kind of brought it up before. When we talk about this stuff, the Nazis and that, just remember, please, we're talking about them. Doesn't mean we enjoy them or like them or nothing like that. So I know some people, it's a sensitive subject and all that, but just remember where we're coming from with it. That's all.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It is a part of our global history. So
Yeah, I mean, and I know I was over at the ME-262 project there at Payne Field. They built from brand new from scratch 5 potentially flyable ME-262s. 2 of them were 2-seaters, 2 of them were single-seaters, and 1 of them was convertible. You could take the big canopy off, put a small canopy on, and they were going to fly it to Germany for some air shows, and they were told that they wouldn't let them in country if it had the swastika on the tail.
Oh, I would imagine they'd be a little sensitive about that.
Yeah, and I know when I went to a couple of air museums, and one in Munich. Can't remember the other one, but it was also in Germany. And all the German airplanes, none of them had swastikas.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Which is, I can understand why, but at the same time, it's almost unfortunate too, because it's like they're trying to erase history, but that is a part of, history. But I understand at the same time why they would do it, But
and just so you know, I'm not part of that whole woke crowd and all that stuff. I was just saying that because I know the Nazi thing is like big time with this, like, just that's it. But all that other stuff, like, I can't stand it,
Yeah. No. I know people get sensitive about it, but that's okay.
People get sensitive about things they have no reason at all to get sensitive about anything. Oh my God. I mean, people are getting pissed off at you because you used a different kind of toothpaste or idiotic reasons like that. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
Or you've been drinking too much and you say something stupid and now you're condemned. I mean, God,
you know how we had the Bronze Age, the Stone Age and all that stuff,
Yeah.
we're gonna be known as the dumbass age. That's it. I'm serious. Like 1,000 years from now, these dummies.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you believe they changed their language 400 times in 3 years? Like that.
Crazy. It's so
Yeah.
crazy. And it changes like almost like weekly. There's something new. And I'm just like, I can't keep up. Thank God I have teenagers. They can help me. But it's just like
That's
ridiculous.
design, though. That's all by design, that whole thing with the
Yeah. Oh, I
language.
agree.
Or you can't say that because it may offend somebody.
Right. It's
Oh, I
divisive.
get up at some mornings. I get up in the morning and think to myself, what group can I offend today?
See, that's
All
the
you have to
weird
do is say good morning. Somebody will get offended.
True.
That's
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's absolutely asinine that people get upset over stuff that doesn't affect them. That has I don't know. There's
I
that
think
pain in
it's
the ass. There's that pain in the ass again. Who's that David Hurley guy? He's always making that. Oh yeah. I think he belongs to our hostess.
That is your husband, correct?
That is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations, David. That's right.
Yeah.
And congratulations again, Lynn.
That's awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny though, and not that I'm comparing, because obviously, at least here in Massachusetts, the death toll was nowhere near the same. But in Salem, where I live, well, I live right outside of Salem, but they've done a lot of the same sort of thing. Like they try to erase it. Now they tend to embrace it because they can make a lot of money off of it. We get all the tourism now, but the original witch dungeon, the building where the witches were held, was still around in 1950. They tore it down,
Yeah.
which is like, ugh, to me, like that's just like heart-wrenching. They tore it down because they didn't want the association with the history. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like 70 years ago, that was still here.
One of the reasons that the Germans would not allow them to tear down the concentration camps, we have to make sure that that is in your face for the rest of eternity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is the true evil of mankind.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's a reminder. And it's, I don't think that we need to just sweep it under the rug. But that is not what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about Nazis. But
yeah, we've already done 30 minutes. Let's talk about something. Yeah.
We're talking about a lot of things. We've talked about
this is
political correctness. We've talked about the Nazis. We've talked about the witch trials. We've covered a lot in these 30 minutes.
This is true. This is true. And about half it was on Michael.
That's true, yeah.
Good night, folks. That's it.
Yeah.
Been great, Ron. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you later too, Lynn. I gotta go. Yeah. Yeah. We've insulted our quota for the day. Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, and the mosquito swarms. Yes, thank you, Enzo. That nightmare. Thank you for reminding me of that.
And I sent you, Lynn. I don't know why. I think, I reorganized stuff, but in your email, you should have another invite to
all right,
our High Jump Google Drive folder. So just letting you know, I sent you that.
All right, cool. I will pull that up. So while I'm doing that, some of the people that watched the morning show may remember I did a show where I was talking about Antarctica, and Ron came on and had all these amazing. Okay, yeah, it looks like I got it. I think I got it all. Oh wait, hold on. No, I don't need instructions. Get out of here. Where we were talking about Operation High Jump, right? And then we sort of kind of got into the Nazis too, because the Nazis. So there was this. It's not really a rumor because we know the Nazis were in Antarctica around World War II. We had, what was it? New Schwabenland was in Antarctica, right? I think so. Oh, I think you're frozen again, Ron. Yep, you might be coming back.
I don't know what that's about. What's going on?
I think you're back now. I don't know. It could be what you've been saying the past couple of weeks, solar flares. Maybe it's solar flares.
It's the aliens. Nothing is happening, Ron. You're just...
See, it's going in and out. I just seen you two go in and out, and then I went in and out. Can it be
so
StreamYard by any chance?
Maybe. I don't know if it's going on because I've seen Jim just fine this whole time. So that's why I'm wondering if
Okay.
maybe it's on your end, but it could
Okay.
be. So, I mean, StreamYard can
Do you
sometimes.
want me to reboot and come back in? You want me
wanna
to
try?
try that?
Yeah,
All right.
let's try.
My PC, everything's fast. It should come right back
Okay.
up. All right. So
Yeah,
I'm
no
so
worries.
sorry. Just
No,
anyway,
don't
they're
even
not here for me. They're here for you. I'll be right back.
No,
All
they're
right.
here for you. Okay.
I mean,
Oh.
and I mean, there's been so much sunspot activity recently
Mm,
that I'm surprised that it hasn't wiped out. I mean, totally wiped out a lot of communications.
yes.
Yeah. And what about my toothpaste, Enzo?
He's blaming CERN and your toothpaste on what's happening to Ron.
It gives me the sparkly smile.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Except I can take mine out and look at it and then put them back in. You know.
Makes it easy to fix. Okay, so Sunny's
Right,
saying if you
right.
reset your StreamYard and then come back into the show, it will fix it usually. All right, cool. Well, let's
Okay.
see. Yeah. So
Sunny, thanks for joining us.
yes, I
Yes.
know. I haven't talked to Sunny.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. Okay, I've been playing just like full disclosure here. I've been playing with this squeezy ball thing.
and
Ah!
it can't-
And it just popped.
Oh no. Oh jeez. Yeah.
So now I have like gross squeezy ball guts all in my hand.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we're just a mess tonight. Poor Ron. Hopefully he doesn't come on right now.
Dave, that's a warning to you, Dave. What her hands can do. She's that strong.
Speaking of
Gonna
Dave,
get
Hurley,
you.
can you bring me
Oh,
you
look at
bring
them all
me a-
squeezing out the fingers. Yeah.
paper towel or something? Oh my gosh, it just keeps sticking to my hands. This is
Oh.
terrible. Hopefully he's listening. Hopefully. Oh no, I don't want the dog to eat it. She's like, "What you got?" Oh my god, that was so gross when that popped. That was disgusting. It was just nasty. It was nasty. Oh boy. Well. Oh, hi Ron. Okay, hold on. Squeezy ball explosion. Sorry. This happened while you were gone.
What the?
I was squeezing this ball, and I guess I squeezed it too hard, and it
I
popped.
didn't mean to stress you out. I'm so sorry.
No, actually, she had a group of minions come through, and one of them let a fart out, and that's what it was.
Oh, Cubert.
Because I've always been a ball buster.
Yeah.
I hope.
That was a bad one there, Lynn.
I know. I hope this took care of the problem. I'm sorry if
No, yeah, you seem good now.
I don't know what that was
Wash
about.
your hands. That stuff could be toxic. Let's hope not. Thank you.
It's part of the computer industry that we all try to exist in. I mean,
I know that's what I do for 30 years. I'm an IT person.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So I know the pain. Trust me.
So we can blame you, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Blame the IT guy.
Right? Yeah, it's all your fault, Ron.
You know what's funny? Because what we're going to talk about tonight, so I was going through some of the notes and everything, and in one of them, I think it's in that folder I sent you.
Yes.
Where the heck is it? I was looking, and Ben Rich, I was reading through some of his quotes, and what's funny is as he's talking, he says, "Hey, Jim," and it was to Jim Goodall, like that.
Oh, really?
One of the quotes in it, yeah.
Oh my! That's in here. Oh wait, here Ben Rich comments. Hold on.
There you go, right in there. Ben Rich comments.
Let me share this. That's funny.
It's probably the second one under the green.
Okay.
The green highlight.
Let me.
Now, what's great is.
Here we go.
It says the source. Let's see if Jim actually did. If he said that.
Oh,
to
right
Jim.
here. I see. Okay, let's see. I can make it bigger. Jim, we have things out in the desert that are 50 years beyond what you could possibly comprehend. If you've seen it on Star Wars or Star Trek, we've been there, done that, or decided it was not worth the effort. Direct comments by Ben Rich to Jim Goodall via telephone call at the USC Medical Center approximately 1 week before Ben passed away on January 5th, 1995. Wow. Jim.
Yep. That's
Did
me.
you know? Oh, I knew that. But did you know that this was like one of his quotes? By the way, I've used this several times to see if you would notice it yet.
Oh, don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing in the bottom, the bottom line, the bottom sentence, the dear John, that's the letter that John Andrews, who's I always referred to him as Spy One. I was Spy Two.
Yeah.
And that is the response from Ben Rich from a letter that John wrote to him. Said, I need some clarification. He said, we have UFOs are in two categories, both man-made and extraterrestrial. Basically, what are your feelings and that of Kelly Johnson? And that's when he came back and says, I'm a believer in both categories. He said, both Kelly and I are believers in both categories. And he,
Now-
many of our man-made UFOs are unfunded opportunities, and he underlines the U, the F, and the O. And if it's unfunded, that means the American taxpayer didn't have to pay for it, which means it was either crashed, it was given to us, or we stole it. One of the three. So,
wow, so that was like a code within a code. That's pretty UFO, because I read about that. I just wasn't 100% on what that unfunded opportunity meant, but
no, he underlines it in his handwritten letter on his corporate letterhead, president of the Lockheed Advanced Development Programs. Ben Rich underlines the U, the F, and the O. And he says,
I have that somewhere. Damn it.
You're what?
I have that. I had it somewhere. I don't think it's in these folders, but the actual pictures of the notes that you're talking about where he underlines it.
Right. And Michael Schratt went to see Darlene Andrews, John's widow, and he recovered 100% of all of John Andrews' stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm glad it was Michael who got it and not the local waste management people got it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's where way too much stuff goes to. Is down the toilet or out to the landfill.
Ugh, that's heartbreaking.
So Ben Rich, I think I've mentioned it many, many times. Ben and I talk once a quarter for 25 years. And in his book that he did with Leo Janos, I think I was the very last person to get the book. Everybody else got it before that, but I got the very last one from Ben, and I felt honored that he included me in his corner. I could call him anytime if he was at the Skunk Works. I'd call his number. June, his secretary, would answer. She'd recognize my voice. Said, hi there. Oh, Mr. Goodall. So just a second, I'll connect you with Mr. Rich. And about half the time, he would be in a conference with other engineers. He put me on speakerphone, and I could hear everybody talking in the background. So I'm not sure how in the hell I managed this. It's just sort of, I think because of my friendship with John Andrews, who had a much longer relationship with Ben than I did. So I'm just blessed that Ben came into my life when he did.
With that, I'm sorry, because I was looking for the letter, but you know what? I'm not going to find it. So that thing that was highlighted, the comment where it says Jim, so that's accurate then, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me pull that back up again.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lynn. I didn't know.
No, you're totally fine. Not at all.
So,
Let's see. That was this one, right? There we go. Did that pull that up? Okay. So let me get that larger again. This is great, though. I wonder.
Yeah, because when I seen when I realized it was Jim Goodall, and it just so happens I realized this only 2 hours ago. So I'm like, when's the best time to ask him if that's a legit quote right there? That's perfect.
Anytime it's a legit quote.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's true. That is true.
Yeah, because sometimes people when they write things down or whatever, they tend to like add a couple of words here and there, which changes everything.
Yeah.
So who best to hear it from than the man himself,
The horse's mouth. Yeah.
And all that other stuff he said, if you look above, like the highlighted ones, where he says that like we have the technology to take ET back home and all that stuff. Now you knew him. He was a straight shooter like that. If he said that he meant that though, right?
Absolutely. I mean, he said it multiple times. Not only. He said it at the UCLA presentation, but he said it at least one other public place, and he told me. I mean, he's
wow.
It is absolutely. I am so incredibly blessed that Ben Rich allowed me to share a part of his life. But
yeah,
I mean, I can remember in August of '89, Ben called me at home. I hadn't talked to him in a couple months, and that's when he told me. He said, "Jim, the Blackbirds aren't going to make it through Congress." I said, "I got that from the horse's mouth, and if anybody could scrounge one, you can." So I did. I mean, and that's the reason why the Minnesota Air Guard got the 8th production Blackbird. And when I went to my boss, who was Major General Schwab, I said, "General Schwab, I'm going to get a Blackbird for the museum." He started laughing at me. He said,
"Is that
General,
the SR-71?
Pardon?
Is that the SR-71?
Well, that's the one that came before. It was the A-12. Is a single place version of the SR-71 that the Air Force flew. The A-12 is about 5,000 pounds lighter. They're both designed to fly at Mach 3.24. That's optimum for the inlet. Ooh. The SR-71 is limited to about 85 to 87,000 feet straight and level, depending on gross weight. And the A-12, because it's 4,000 to 6,000 pounds lighter, can fly another 5,000 to 6,000 or 7,000 feet higher than a typical SR-71. Not 128, which was my airplane, flew straight and level at 92.5. Wow. Bill Park zoomed 933, which is the last A-12 built. Yeah.
That's the edge of space, right? Right up there.
Correct. No, no, space is 62 miles. 85, 90,000 feet, right around 20 miles. So you're still 40 miles before going into space.
But I mean, still, what I mean by edge of space is when you're up there, you actually can see.
You can see the curvature. You can see the curvature of the Earth. You can see the stars.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow.
And I think it's the most incredible machine ever built, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if when we get to the point and we have actual UFOs flying, maybe I'll change my mind. But from signing a contract to first flight was 32 months. And it had only been 15 years since Yeager went Mach 1 in a rocket-powered airplane, and now Lockheed built an aircraft that weighs 60 to 70 tons, moving through the air at 32 to 3,400 feet per second. That's faster than a speeding bullet.
Wow.
And more powerful than a locomotive. So it's an incredible airplane, and they designed it with slide rules.
And it's so funny because I had just done a show on Saturday. See, I told you about my memory. Why the government lies to us, like why the government lies about UFOs. And I took a clip from the Times in 1997 where I had it somewhere right here. It says, I'm sorry, because I forget that you can't see what I'm seeing
That's
right now.
okay.
But
If you share screen, I can put it up.
oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah, that's right. I know how to use this. Why am I acting so like weird? I don't know.
It's being on the other side of it. It's weird.
Okay. So you tell me when you're good.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I can see it. Sorry, hold on. There we go.
All right, so this is an actual clip, and it's from August 3rd, 1997. And it says the CIA, let me make that a little smaller, admits, but what it was, a lot of sightings were on the Lockheed U-2A and the SR-71 Blackbird. And that was, I think, in the 50s and 60s that they were saying that's when a lot of sightings that were being reported were them doing a lot of testing and these guys way up there flying around. Now, I don't know what's the truth of the, like, I wouldn't say all the sightings were these things, but it makes sense though. I mean, that somebody sees something like a little dot all the way up there and it's these guys zipping across.
Yeah.
The first time I saw an F-117 on the it actually flew over my car when I was with John Lear, and I almost crashed the car. But then we ended up on the fence line at Tonopah Test Range. And as it's coming towards you, I mean, it looks like a UFO when you look at an F-117 head on.
Yeah.
And I thought it was changing shape, primarily because of the faceted surface and the lights reflecting differently from the sun was fairly low in the horizon. So I can understand where someone can confuse it as it's an unknown. I mean, if you don't know what it is, it's an unknown aerial phenomena.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just figured I'd kill it.
No, it's really fine.
Yeah, because like there's a lot of things. Like I state, I'm a believer. Like especially the stuff with the South Pole, like with the universe, it's just like just too big for nothing. Our galaxy alone is 100,000 light years across. So there's just, I mean, it's almost it's impossible that we're just it out there. Yeah. But like with every single dot in the sky, like I don't think we have a highway of UFOs just all flying around like they say, like people like to think and want to believe like that. But then again, who knows? Like that. But I'm curious about the thing down in Antarctica. Yeah, because they were talking about that. From what I understand is this, that when the Germans surrendered, it wasn't the Nazis. The Nazis actually were, some of them got caught, but they were escaping at that time. They were preparing for this in the late 30s. And going down through their subs and whatever, down through like near Argentina, and they were already preparing and building down there. They called it, I think, a Shangri-La or something like that. Shangri-La. I mispronounce that all the time because they said down there was actually like a Middle Earth that they found. You know, I don't know how true that is, but that gentleman, Vladimir. Oh, I can't remember because I think I sent you something before, Lynn. I sent you a video.
And the one you sent me today, was it?
I sent you a video. There's an anthropologist that I watch. His name is Robert Sepper. And he has a great YouTube channel if you're into that stuff. But on one of them, he did the occult with Maria Orsic and like the Dooleys and the Vril.
Yeah.
And he goes into the whole thing with the Nazis and he has it on there. It's anyway, so like a whole thing where there's even images and all that. That's what I included in that drive folder for you.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, there's, definitely controversy as to whether or not that is true or not. But, the Vril, the Vril and the was it the Vril and the Thule, or just the Vril? I can't remember. Was actually in a book in the late 1800s. They mentioned it, and so that's why people question whether or not it was fabricated or real. But supposedly, Maria Orsic was the psychic, and she worked with a group of female psychics, and they somehow got in touch with extraterrestrials, and the extraterrestrials were giving them blueprints in order to learn how to build UFOs, which is fascinating. And so, for some reason, I mean, maybe if this is true, like, did the extraterrestrials work with the Nazis? I don't know. Maybe.
Well, they said that, yeah, because Maria Orsic, they said she was receiving technical information, and it was coming from the Taurus constellation. I forgot the exact part of the Taurus, but that's where it was coming from. And oh man, see, remember I asked you what were we going to talk about, and you told me, I said I like to brush up. See, it doesn't matter if I brush up or not because I lose it fast. I have to have it like up in front of me. That's why I even had my notes, but I forgot what it. And with those two things, you had the Thule, but I don't, like you said, I don't know if they're the same. The Vril, and it was called the Eternal. I don't know. But I wrote down, it says she receives technological info from a civilization in the Taurus constellation. Provided details on a craft that can alter time around it. That was it. And also like time travel and all kind of stuff. And that's where they said the Nazis, like that Hitler was a huge occultist. Like he was big into that. And her was one that they could not touch or whatever because he had her on a pedestal or whatever. Like she was, what she said was gospel.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's true.
I don't, you know, but it's really interesting because it says, and there's even newspaper clippings in that folder when Robert Byrd went down there with the Armada. And it's just funny because one of the guys that was headed down there was Chester Nimitz, right? That he turned right around. I think it was within a month or so. They left a lot, planes and everything like that. Some people say that was a delivery. And they just played it off that they all got destroyed and everything like that. Who knows? But
it is interesting. And then, you know, we had Operation Paperclip after the war, where all of the Nazi scientists came over to the U.S. And so then that's where supposedly we got some of the technology as well. And for those people who are into the secret space program, that is supposedly the start of the secret space program, is when we got that information and were able to then create craft that could go off world. And that snowballed, and hence we have this secret program. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, granted, you got to take some leaps. You do. But there's also, you know, they had a lot of weird things. The Nazis had some weird things. Like we had Die Glocke, the Nazi bell, right? What was this? Some people say maybe this was a time traveling device. And if that's the case, does that go along with the story? So
yeah, because Victor Schauberger comes into it. He was the one that was forced to, and I think they used his I forgot the word. It was a water vapor or something, like an engine is another way they were using. I don't know if it was centrifugal force or gyroscopic drive engines. But the thing is this, if you think about it too, after like right around Roswell, right around that time, when did, like, there were sightings before that. Of course, you had Cape Girardeau, that UFO crash claim. You had the Battle of Los Angeles, right? And that was before Roswell. But I mean, after Roswell, and that's when everything kicked up. I think it would be in the, like, from the 50s, especially the late 40s to the early 50s. That's when it became UFO mania, that it was flying saucers, that's when all the sightings just was flying off the charts and everything. And it makes you wonder, like, okay, Roswell, was that alien and alien bodies, or was that us testing German tech that crashed or what, like, I don't know, but I know it was right at that time was everything, you know, I don't know, but I think there was something definitely to the Antarctica thing, especially how we're able to go there. Some people claim we're not able to go to the South Pole, just not all of it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
who knows what's there?
Yeah. Well, Admiral Byrd also talked about, similar to the Nazis, this kind of inner Earth civilization that was supposedly there that did have saucers, like flying saucers, exactly what we think of as flying saucers. And then, this was he was a decorated officer, and then the moment he started talking about all this, all of a sudden, the guy is crazy. So,
Yeah, and that's what happened with James Forrestal.
yeah,
James Forrestal, him and Byrd were buddies, but then when he was talking about it, they labeled him crazy, committed him, and then he jumps out of his 13-story hospital window.
He was thrown out of his 13-story house. Yeah.
yes,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing, you know. And that just got swept right under.
Mm-hmm.
I had it somewhere.
I saw something you had on here too that let me go back to it. That was interesting. I haven't seen this article before, but this is fascinating. Let me pull it up. Fake Hitler to die in Berlin, Swiss says, or Swiss say, and this was April 26th. I don't know if you know what year this was that this article came out.
I'm not sure, but I know it would definitely be probably. You know what? I don't even want to throw a date out there, but
44 or 45.
Probably.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you go back a picture, oh, that's right. I'm looking at there's James Forrestal.
Yep.
Guys, see his lovely hospital up there?
Mm.
Yeah,
great.
so remember, he was Secretary of Navy. Then he became, I think, the first Secretary of Defense, or he became the first something. I just forgot.
It says Secretary of Defense, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, it says both of them. Look. Oh man, I'm losing it.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I didn't see that either.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't feel, but like he was capable of all that. He was competent, and then he goes in, and then they tell his wife and family, forget it. You can't see him. Like no visitors.
What do you have? COVID?
Yeah.
There we go. Let's just throw them all into one episode here.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
All the hot topic.
Oh God.
Oh my God, that's
Don't even get me started, Jim.
Yeah, you gotta watch out and not get me started. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So that's interesting. I mean, I think I knew that James Forrestal was involved with all of this, but it just, for some reason, it's one of those things that I didn't put two and two together until you just said that. So it's so interesting how so many of these big characters were involved with this story with Antarctica.
Yep.
And yet now all of a sudden, these guys that were, as you said, like this, James Forrestal was competent enough to become the first Secretary of Defense. Yet all of a sudden, he's crazy too. It's amazing how many of these guys went crazy.
Yeah.
There's a fold. I'm sorry, Jim, just because you need to get in here. But while you're looking, Lynn, there's a couple of folders with sources, but there's one folder called Sources.
Okay.
And in that folder, there's a lot of stuff. Some of them may not have anything to do with this whole Nazi thing, South Pole. I believe most of them do. There's the Hannibal 1, 2, 3, all that. But there's a folder. Yeah, that's it. Sources. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
Oh no, I'm just. I'm just enjoying everything that we're talking about today. So.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this a real picture?
Here's the funny thing. Some people will just right off the back say, nope, that's like without knowing, just their gut.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a thing for you. Where is it? Something I created links. I'm just trying to find the guy's name here. Oh wait, that's Lynn Link. No, that's not that one. I'm talking out loud, aren't I? All right. The guy I was talking about, his name was Vladimir
Mm-hmm.
Trzynski. He was, I think, an author, but he had a lot of so-called authentic photos
Mm.
of the Nazi sources and the Hannibals and all that. I don't know because this was cropped out by the gentleman that was using these photos. So I don't know who the photographer was. I
Mm.
think this was one of this gentleman, Vladimir Trzynski. Jeez, I can't get it out. It's possible. It's now the one with the female on the left, like where she's in.
Oh, sorry. I hit the wrong thing. Oh my
Take your
gosh.
time. Don't worry
Did
about
it
it.
again. All right, let me get
Don't
that
worry.
back up again.
Don't you worry about
All of a sudden,
that.
I was like, where did I go?
I do it every
Went
time.
out. There we go. Okay. Now,
And by the way, is my audio everything still good?
yeah.
Yep.
Sounds
So
great.
far, so good.
So
Yep.
yeah, I had like a bottleneck in mine before. Anyway, that last photo that you were on,
Mhm.
just to put that one to rest, that one. See the left side of it. I think that's not like she was there and that flying saucer was in the background. But then again, I can't say that 100%. It just,
Yeah.
I was just talking about those people that say my gut. My
Mhm.
gut tells me that's a fake part, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But the one you were on prior to that they look legit, man.
Yeah. Some of these are
Yep.
crazy. Wow.
And if your gut tells you something, more than likely that is the correct assumption.
Hmm.
If you're getting a bad feeling about a thing or a person, every time I have ignored my gut feel, I've been bitten. So
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. So intuition, especially a woman's intuition, probably
Dangerous, but it is. Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Occam's razor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
That's an interesting.
and for those out there that may have not heard that, in a nutshell, it's keep it simple, stupid. That's it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And depending on what happens next month, my wife is going to go up to Seattle for a week, I think. But when she gets back, I may go visit a Mr. Lazar.
Ah, nice.
I was supposed to see him in April, but it was snowing between where I was at and where he was at. And Ron, just so you know, I have a car that has rear tires that are 12 inches wide, 13 inches wide of tread.
Nice.
And it is my plastic Chevy. I have a 2010 Grand Sport Corvette, and I love it. It's my daily driver. I gave up my Harley. I gave up my Harley for it.
Really?
I had when I quit riding my Harley, in 2013 I laid it down at 70 miles an hour out in West Texas. And I was never 100% after that. I walked away from it. I mean, I was doing 70 miles an hour and I hit standing water.
That's crazy.
And again, all I got was just a little bit of a road rash right here. And I told my wife, I said, if I can figure a way to pay for a Corvette, I'll get rid of the Harley. And
what,
so
did you go take out a loan so you could get rid of that damn thing?
Yeah, and she was happy. She was real happy that I quit riding the Harley. And I gave it to my best friend, and he doesn't have a pot to pee in and a window to throw it out of. But if I needed his heart, because my heart was failing, he would volunteer to give it to me. So, and he's been my friend since September 1962. So this year it'll be 60 years. We've been friends.
Wow.
And
Yep, those are rare relationships.
Mm-hmm.
oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I knew the moment we met. Room 12, building 296, Lowry Air Force Base, Denver, Colorado, September 9th.
Wow.
And I knew right then and there we were going to be friends forever. And a year later, he went to Alaska, and he was remote. He got back from Alaska. I saw him in Denver, and then about a month later, I got orders. I went to Alaska. So I lost track of him. I got back from, stayed in Anchorage when I first got out of the service, and I had to leave the state. And I ended up down in LA, and this is before the internet. And there's no such thing. I mean, there's no way to track someone down. And I was working for the phone company out of the Axminster Exchange. That's the Crenshaw district of LA. That's where the Rodney King riots were. I was a night repairman. And I very attached to our garage was the schools for Pacific Telephone. At the time, it was part of AT&T. And only once in the year and a half that I was there did I ever eat at the garage. The roach coach would come in, and students would come in, from the school and whatever. So I'm walking up there, and I look coming down from the school. I see this tall, lanky guy, and it's my best friend, Richard Lee Branham. I said, RB, when? So you working for the phone company? I said, yeah. I said, where you been for the last 5 years? He said, well, I've been out here, I've been there. And he said, the last couple of years I'd lived in Long Beach. I said, but I'm just moving. I just moved to Inglewood. And I said, whereabouts in Inglewood? And I said, 102nd Street. And I said, well, I live on 102nd Street. But it's also about 40 miles long. There's only about 200,000 apartment complexes here. I said, where do whereabouts on 102nd Street do you call home? And he said, 4350 102nd Street. I said, no, wait a second. I live at 4350 102nd Street. He moved in right across the hall from me. He didn't know where I lived, and I had no idea where in the hell he lived. So I knew in the Almighty's way of telling people, you guys are friends forever, and this is how I'm proving it. And
oh, wow.
That's
That's true, though.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And he's been my friend for 60 years. And I'm blessed. And when I met him, I was terrified of girls.
I don't believe it.
He taught me not to. And he said I had all the shots I needed, rabies shots and distemper, whatever. But he told me he gave me the key to my happiness. It was he said, I don't tell anybody here at Lowry Air Force Base, but I just found a gold mine of young ladies. Every Saturday night at St. Joseph's School of Nursing on 18th and Franklin, they'd have a dance. There's usually about 10 guys and about 60 student nurses.
Oh,
and
God.
It was like having a key to the candy store. and I loved
I wish
to
they
dance.
still had that now. I mean,
when I traveled all over the country for decades, I always made sure I found the place that had the best music. I'd go dancing. I'd go dancing 6 nights a week, 7 nights a week if I can find a place to go dancing. And it all started pretty much with Ernest at St. Joseph's School of Nursing. And one of these days, next time I'm in Denver, I'm going to see if the nursing school's still there. It was run by nuns, and they had 2 of them. They had Sister Mary Christopher and Sister Mary Gregory. Sister Mary Christopher was everybody's grandmother, and Sister Mary Gregory, I think if you lift up her habit, she had knee boots, khaki pants, and she would have a black khaki riding crops. A tan long sleeve shirt with a red band and a white circle with an emblem in it. I mean, she was You did not mess with Sister Mary Gregory. I mean, she could look at you and burn a hole through your soul. I mean, she was. And I remember one night I'd gone out with one of the girls, the young ladies, and I was really tired. And we were back in the community room, and they had real high back chairs. And my date had gone upstairs, gone to bed, and I fell asleep. And about 3:00 in the morning, Sister Mary Gregory's going around making her rounds. And she sees these feet sticking out from this high back chair. What are you doing? I mean, I thought I was going to be executed on the spot. It was like the Mother Superior in Blues Brothers, very similar to her. So I've had a fun life. So.
Oh, geez.
Welcome to It's All Goodall, Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, though. Because the thing is, as he's telling the story, I'm visualizing it.
Yeah, oh,
yeah.
So yeah.
So you're telling me, Lynn, I'm gonna have two good storytellers potentially on my show at the same time.
Yeah.
If I get Jim and Mike going at it,
oh yeah,
and then me, there's times you have to slap me to shut me up. So. I don't know. We're going to have to do some kind of a poll and give the audience little electrodes that they could buzz us when they want the other one to stop talking like that.
Yeah.
You'll each have like a time, like they do for like, debates.
Yeah.
Okay, Ron, you've got 5 minutes. Go.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you want Michael and I on your show, you just let me know. We'll be there.
Yeah. I was thinking for, the Roswell, because I'm working on. Oh, Mike, I love him, but man, I wanted to kill him the last time he called because I'm working on a Roswell diorama, but
okay,
the diorama, because what you were speaking about earlier about the artists and everything. So he has his files of the pictures of Roswell, and as he was on my show, we were doing the Cape Girardeau diorama. He went into his whole spiel and started talking about other cases. So as he's talking about Roswell, I pulled a Ralph Cramben and put my foot in my mouth. And I said, instead of just saying, I'll just make the Roswell crash like that, I said, oh, you know what I can do? I can make 3 dioramas like in scenes. I can make the crash, the one with Main Street where they're driving it down Main Street, and the hangar scene. And then he got all happy like a kid in a candy store. And then now, a day later, I realized what I just did because I realized the amount of work.
You just committed to it. To 3 dioramas.
And then I got the phone call about putting these in that museum. So now potentially millions of people could end up seeing this thing. So now I have to make sure the detail is that much on top. But what happened is the other day, a week or two ago, I was sending Michael some updates of nice pictures. And he calls me and says, oh, you know what, Ron? Because I told him I'm looking at your slides and I'm just trying to figure out, should I leave this level? It goes, but in reality, the crash site had a little cliff. And I'm like, what cliff are you talking about? So now he's changed it up. He just added a month of hell to my life now. That's it. So when he said that, I was like that, no, yeah. So, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be real awesome. But it's just, I'll tell you what, I'm going to stick to one diorama from now on. To be honest.
Well, you opened your mouth.
So that's basically it. See, I kept talking, right?
Yeah.
I already lost my train of thought from it.
Yeah.
So I figured with you and Michael, when the even before that, I don't care. I'm not trying to steal your that's your co-host. So I just want him as a guest, not as but any. And I'm looking at the screen like Lynn could see me eye to eye. I'm talking to it. I figure when the Roswell diorama, because it's going to be a massive one and everything, maybe that's something you can come on with Michael and you guys could go into it. Unless, I don't know where you fall. Are you on the believe that Roswell aliens and all that, or not?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
No, so then perfect then, yeah. Because I don't want you to have to talk about something that you don't really feel like buying, but that's great then.
I wouldn't do it
Mhm.
if I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Yeah.
people out there who do it just because it makes them look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
unfortunately, there's too many people like that out in this world. But
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I'm not one of those. I'm very straightforward.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. And people have asked me ever since I got into this community, and it's only been since 2019. I didn't know anybody even knew who in the hell I was until I went to a MUFON function to meet Michael, and I ran into some people and said, "Oh my God, I didn't see you on the program." I said, "Well, I didn't know I was coming till this morning." And I mean, it was just one thing after another, and I finally decided to jump in with both feet. And
I'm glad you did. I'm really glad you did. And I'm telling you, I was thrilled because when I seen Lynn had you, it's all Goodall and all that, I was thinking like, oh, great, she got him on. That's awesome. And then when I seen she did, I was like, oh, this is perfect. So that's awesome. I'm glad for you, Lynn, but it's also really good for ufology that you have them with you.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
That's just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Amazing.
you're another one of those gems. Like I was telling you about Michael, you're another one of those that their name's synonymous with ufology. And I say the good part of ufology,
yeah.
not the grifter part. You know, those.
Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
there's a few of those out there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Grifter.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, even though it's the internet, I'm still being respectable. It's your show. You know.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But see this guy?
Alan?
That's what I
Yeah,
printed
that's
out.
awesome. Did you make
I'm
it?
trying to get the focus. Yeah, 3D printed him.
Oh, that's awesome.
That
Yeah,
is.
He's got like a 10-pack belly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wow, he's been working
I'm
out.
jealous because I don't have a 6-pack. I have a keg.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
Yeah,
And mine's not a pony keg. Mine's a full.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Oh,
now,
my goodness.
how do you make these? So do you 3D print a lot of your stuff, or like how do you make these
Yeah,
dioramas?
I made this one.
interested.
Look, see this one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a bus. And then my newest one is this guy. Oh, wait, I got two to show you. You're going to like the other one. This one I just printed out.
Oh, that's cool.
This is the stand that says EBE.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
And this guy I printed out. My little vacationing guy. I'm trying
Oh
to
my
get
gosh,
him to
that's
clear.
hilarious.
See him? He has a little DSLR camera in his hand.
You should do
Sorry.
Paul. You should do Paul.
Why
That's
he's looking
awesome.
at my face is clear. It's,
Yeah,
there
it's
it goes.
sharp. Yeah.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's got a little Hawaiian shirt on.
Yeah, I painted that, and it looks like butterflies. I meant them to be flowers. I don't know.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's like I print those out. Yeah, I use the 3D printer, but now I just printed out a hanger
Oh wow.
for the diorama, and that's
Okay.
when I told you about Michael gave me a call. So the hanger took a good 13 hours to print,
Wow.
and now I have to make a bigger hanger, right? Like that because you know what we're doing like this. This is the there's a B29.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Let me see. But this is the Enola Gay, right? So what I'm doing though is because it doesn't have the markings on it, I'm gonna convert this and turn this into the straight flush. That was the one that it was outside during Roswell. It's the Air Force. Was it Wright Patterson? I think it may have been. Oh, was it Wright Patterson Airfield Base, the one when they transported the coffins from Roswell?
I
mean,
think so. I don't know if
the
they
base, the base that was there was Walker Air Force Base, and then they moved them from Walker to Wright Patterson.
Right.
Well,
But it was
in
like,
Ohio.
Yeah, and that's when I think they moved them on a B-29 called the straight flush.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was, because Michael had sent me the pictures, and you know, I guess he pulled them out of his binder. So that was another thing when I said that. Oh, you think I should get a B? Yeah. Oh, and then I opened my mouth again. I'm like, oh. So then when I did this, now, you know what? I like Michael. If I keep talking, I'm gonna get mad at Michael. I gotta stop.
And you broke it.
oh no.
No, I put it in. No, this one
okay.
was a snap
Oh,
in. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. So now are you going to have, okay, so are you going to have, you're going to have the wreckage, right? The wreck site, the crash site. Are you going to have bodies or no bodies?
Can I share my screen for a second?
Yeah, of course.
All right, let me just get it's the slideshow from Michael. Let me just get that up for a second, then I'll do it. Oh wait, you know what would help? Actually, cause see. Mm-hmm.
Well, you have that problem too, huh?
Yeah. Where is it? Oh, Roswell. Here we go. Okay. All right. Now I could just. Oh, geez. Mm-hmm. All right. Share. There we go.
Okay, here we go.
And here's a little trick for everybody. So if you have two screens and you do YouTube or like you make content and you have trouble with your lighting, all you have to do is this: open up a notepad file and open it full screen on one of the screens. And because look, watch my face if I go like this. See?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Difference in it. So just go like that. Boop. All right. So now back to the picture. So that's the tip of the day. All right. All right. So this one that's just a field. So this is what I was thinking. That's it. Okay. So this is going to be one part of the diorama. This is what me and Michael will call Main Street. So, a matter of fact, this is what he was showing when I had that epiphany. Oh, you know what I'll do? And that was the worst day of my life, like that.
Open mouth, insert foot.
No, because he got real high pitch. He went, yeah. And I went, and then I realized it. So, this right here, I'm making this. Now, of course, it's not going to be exact with the beige building. And what's funny is whoever the artist is, although they did good work, look what they did. This is like a model that they put on here. See how it's like empty?
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
It actually is like a model. But anyway, so this is, I'm going to recreate this scene. I actually bought from a military store actual drop pouch so that I can cut it so I can have make a tarp to make it authentic, like real Army.
Okay.
This I'm making. See, so this is the hangar. We have the ambulances. We have this over here. I think that may be a Dragon wagon, but I already built one. I have one, a tank transporter. The Willys Jeep. I have all that. These guys, I still got to make them.
Wow.
That'll be the least of my problems. But I actually built two of these already. The ambulance.
Wow.
You got to see. I was showing my mom something, and I sent her a picture of something, and I didn't realize. She goes, "What the hell is that? Are those coffins like that?" Because I printed out a bunch of little coffins.
Yeah.
So she said, "What are you into? Are those coffins on your table?" Like I said, "Yeah." I said, "Ma, I had to go through the whole thing." Like
That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. So now when I send her any pictures, I have to like set up a photo booth so I can make sure that's all she gets. That's it. Because it's obviously she's scanning my pictures now. That's it. So, but all this stuff, like I'm going to try to make it as authentic as possible with even the barrels. I have all that stuff.
Cool.
And the officers. I want to have infantrymen, but I also want to put the officers in. And it's going to, that one and this. Oh, it's straight flush.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, now I know why. I figured it out. I didn't realize you can't find the straight flush anywhere. Like if you want to buy a model kit or especially the decals, because I realized again, what we were talking about, not to go back into it about politically correct and all that crap, it was that the logo is they're flushing a Japanese guy down the toilet.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I didn't get that. That's hilarious.
Yeah. I just noticed it the other day. I didn't even realize it. And then I said that to Michael, and he goes, but Ron, it's history. I said, no, I know, bro. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that's why we can't find it nowhere. It's because of that. I'm sure people are scared. Oh,
Yeah.
anyway, and this here. So now I was going to make it like this, and maybe a slight little incline and all this, and then he comes out. Where the hell is it? Let me find it now. Wait, because I actually had a folder here called Lynn that I was going to show you something. And so Michael comes out of nowhere, and where the heck is it? Yeah, I was like, dude, come on, man. Let me just see something. But this is basically what I'm going to make. That I already
That's
just
cool.
bear with me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it.
What scale?
I'm doing it at 172.
Okay.
I'm going to do this.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Lynn.
I was going to say, I just noticed, is that a live alien next to the ambulance that they're talking
Yes.
to? Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So that's it. And this one, this is I think a WC 54 ambulance. I have two of them I put together already. This back here is a dragon wagon. I actually made one of them. It took me 4 days to make it. It had 260 parts like that, right? And I'm an idiot because I put every single part in it. It's going to be static, glued down. I could have had it hollow inside. Nobody would have known. But I put all the freaking engine parts in like a jerk like that. Anyway, so
you're just thorough. That's all.
Right.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I'm not going to tell everybody which one, but there's a couple of Jeeps that don't have engines in them. So, but this is the live one. And it crashed, and it was supposed to be the other two lane, like over here. So setting that up, and Michael said that the UFO. Sorry if I'm scrolling too fast. I know that drives me crazy sometimes. So anybody, I'm sorry about that. He told me that, Ron, just know it's not a saucer. He said it's similar to that. It has a dome, but it's more of an egg shape. He said, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, with the info from Michael that I found out like that, and and people will say, how does he know that? You know what? Ask Michael. I trust Michael on the due diligence and thoroughness of his work. I don't think he just thought one day, you know what? Let me put it in there egg shaped or something like that. There has to be a reason why he did that's in there.
Michael does not interject any of his personal feelings or opinions or anything like that in his presentations or his artwork. He's like I said earlier, he's like Sergeant Friday of Dragnet. Just the facts, only the facts.
Yeah, and I even made a windmill.
Oh, that's cool.
This exact windmill. All I have to do is I'm waiting till I'm putting it together, so I may have to shorten it a little bit because of the scale. But I mean, I made that. I want to show you something. Hold on 1 second.
Cool. Yeah.
Sure.
This is amazing. This is going to be really cool when it's all together. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
It's going to be. It's cool that he's collaborating with Michael too. That's great.
Well, Michael, he never mentioned he had anybody making dioramas for him.
Yeah. So
I don't know if
without me knocking these down. So
oh wow! Here, let me
see something like that.
See if I can.
Can you put the screen bigger? Let me see something. So these are a lot of. I have more that I'm making. But these are a lot of like the dragon wagon I told you up here.
Yeah.
I still have to put on all the
decals.
Decals. Thank you. I heard that. And this one. It's funny because I just broke the vein off, but I could just glue it back. Remember I told you I made the everything. And this is the UFO. Well, this is just the prototype. But remember I said it's like egg shaped?
Oh, neat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be like that.
Wow.
And this, just so you all know, this is Michael Schratt approved. All right. Like, like the FDA meat and all that.
Right.
So,
Well, if it's Michael Schratt approved, then we know it's correct.
there you go.
Absolutely.
I'm going to actually make a little stamp like that. So on the dioramas, it's going to be like, like the union label or something like that, but it's
Yeah.
going to have a Michael Schratt stamp on it of approval. But that's basically what's going on. So I'm making this scene 1,
Uh-huh.
this scene, the hangar scene 2,
That's cool.
and this scene 3. But
Wow.
this scene and the hangar is probably going to be on 1 4-foot. It's going to be big. Oh, geez. It's going to be fun having to ship it across the country.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Wow.
I think I'm going to drive.
Yeah, you might want to.
Yeah.
Just for
It-
like sanity.
It's a nice drive.
That's true.
I mean, there's a lot of nothing out there. I mean, people who say, "Oh, this world's too crowded," they have never driven across the United States.
And
Right.
They don't know what they're missing. They don't know
Yeah.
what they're missing.
I'm blessed. I've been to all 50 states, every
Oh, wow.
every province and territory in Canada,
Wow.
every Mexico, all through Mexico, Central America, except for Belize,
Wow.
and then most of South America, except for Uruguay, Paraguay, and French Guiana. And the 3 of them that are up off on the Caribbean, but up above Venezuela.
Wow.
Those are the ones I haven't been to. I did embassy resupply with the Air Force and the Air Guard for a while, and we'd operate out of Howard in Panama and just go up and down. So a lot of fun.
This is the one. Well, that's the one that's behind me. But I could see, being that I'm already breaking pieces off, I'm not going to touch it. But this is I put this together and just finished painting it, but it has more work to do. I have to work on the sidewalk. But this is going to be. Remember, I was just telling you on the diorama, the main street, like where the kids running down the street. Well, I figured that's going to be the stores in the front.
Oh, cool.
So
that's great. That's
That's
super.
yeah.
Now, how big is that, like size wise?
This piece it's 11 inches wide.
Wow.
I think it's 5 inches high and 4 inches deep.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I
Very
believe like that, but it's a big piece, so that the usual diorama I would do is 12 by 12. Well, this takes up the whole thing, because now I got to put the asphalt and all. There's a lot that I got to do.
Yeah.
But this took me a good while, because I had I had the flash on, so it doesn't do it justice, but I did some weathering on it, so it looks really nice and like dirty, and it's nice. It came out, but the sidewalk
awesome.
I have to really weather it and fix that up. But yeah, it's gonna and this is the back of it, like that, like that. So it's still this was
very good.
Yeah, it's coming along. It takes time, but that's it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Enzo wanted to know how many of those did you have to make yourself? By make, I mean 3D print yourself.
Oh no, I actually bought this model kit. This is from a company called Walters, but yeah,
they're HO train stuff.
Exactly. And this is called Merchants Row. So most of that stuff, all those things you've seen, the cars that I showed you, the only thing I 3D printed was the fire truck. I made that. Every other one are model kits that I bought, and I put them, and I'm putting them together. The hangar that I made, like a fence, the windmill. This thing, I 3D printed this. Like certain things that I need, I 3D print. But I would say out of a diorama, maybe a third of stuff is 3D printed. But Most of the stuff I buy and put together and then weather it. And in some of the stuff, like I make by hand, like I use the clay and everything. And
That's awesome. How did you get into doing this?
I've always loved astronomy since I was 12, but I also love art.
Yeah.
But then I became a bad kid and was running around. Well, not a bad kid. It was just chasing girls my whole life and all that. But then I got out of it.
The only problem when you catch one.
Well, that's what happened. I lost my interest in art and everything like that. And now I could have been. Now I'm going to be the next Michelangelo, like that. Now I'm single and that's it, like that. If you see my art goes to crap, it's because I got a good woman in my life. That's the thing. Yeah, I want to make sure the women out there. I'm not disrespecting women. I'm just saying I give all my attention to them. That's it.
There you go.
But yeah, it's something I just always loved doing it. And when I got into 3D printing, when I started seeing like the bust and everything like that, I just love it. And I'll be honest with you. Here's something: coloring and art, like it's a form of. That's my kind of yoga. Like when believe it or not, if I take a coloring book, I don't care if it's a coloring book for a 4-year-old or for an adult, whatever. That's the only thing I can do that not one other thought is in my brain. Like usually we're doing something, we're thinking of something else, trying to shut down, trying to relax. Oh, wait, my arm's itchy or this. That's the only thing I can do. Nothing. I am blank like that. Yeah. And I just relax. So
yeah, I think it's definitely like an active form of meditation. I love it too.
I love it. I do. Yeah. But this thing, let me tell you, that's why I said on the channel, I was telling the people I'm going to start, and it's up to them. Like, we all like donations and this and that. I'm going to let them know when I do start putting that up, they don't have to donate anything, but anything they do is going to go into this because let me tell you, this stuff gets expensive, man.
I can imagine.
Putting these together, yeah.
Wow.
And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. It's just.
It's either you spend it on that or you spend it on drugs and loose women.
That's the two choices.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, stressed out I am from this. I may have to go spend some on drugs. Just kidding. In case you're watching, Ma, I was just kidding. All right. Watch, I'll get a text. Are you doing drugs?
First it was the coffins, now it's the drugs.
Yeah, you're into some weird stuff. I'm telling you.
I remember this is back in the 60s. My mom and dad live in Edmonds, Washington, and I was living in LA, and I was working for Xerox at the time, and I was up there visiting them. And I'm having a cup of coffee and a cigarette. I used to be a smoker with my mom. And she said, Jimmy says, what do you know about marijuana? I said, a little bit. Why?
Sorry.
She asked some question. I said, well, you want some? No. I was just asking a question. I said, okay, just wondering.
That's awesome.
I had a very cool mom.
Yeah.
That's nice though. That's always a good thing. I mean,
yeah, she was 100% Sicilian, and she was born on Halloween.
Oh, that's why my mom was Sicilian.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
That's why I think that's why we've connected.
Yeah,
it's that mafia thing. It's my father called my mom's family the Mothers and Fathers Italian Association.
Look at her last name. I'm not kidding. Her last name is Siciliano.
Wow.
Her maiden name is Siciliano. Yeah.
Yeah. Mom's maiden name was Cardinale.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Cardinales, the Brunos, the Davies, and DiMercurios. Yeah. At one time in Pittsburgh, California, is where all my mom's family's from. At one time, if your name ended in a vowel, we were related.
Oh, wow.
Because when my grandfather moved to Fishing Village from Sicily to San Francisco, San Joaquin Delta, he moved the entire village over, starting in about 1901.
Wow.
And I say everybody there. I mean, everybody was a cousin, a niece, or a nephew, or an aunt, or an uncle. I mean, and now it isn't that way. I just came to the realization my cousin Cookie just passed away, and she was 15 months older than me, and it turns out that she was the last of my blood relatives to call Pittsburgh, California, home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm not related to anybody in that town anymore. At one time, I was related to half the town.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, and I can't, and I keep losing more friends. I mean, it's maybe because of my age. Most everybody I knew was always a little bit older than me, and I guess when you're 77, you run into that.
Well, folks, I hope that answered all your questions about Sao Paulo.
Oh, absolutely.
I just had to. I had to.
We've never. I mean, I don't think Lynn and I have ever really stayed on.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, what's the fun of that? Never stay on topic.
Yeah.
I love this format. That's how I prefer it. Like throw a couple in here and there, and then let's just talk and go off on whatever. But I was just kidding.
And that's what I enjoy about it. And that's why I look forward to Mondays. And if I'm on someone's program, I look forward to that. I've been around a long time. I've done a lot of fun things. I've done a lot of stupid things. I've had more than my share of ex-wives. But I got a good one now. Well, I had a good one the first time too. It was, and when I go to Minnesota on Thursday, I will spend 10 days at my ex-wife's house. It used to be mine, but I'm going to spend it with my ex-wife.
So that's why he corrected that real fast. When he said, I have a nice one now. Oh, first one was nice too, though, because then he said she could be watching or see this or something like that.
Well, with Shelley, who's my first wife, today she's like my sister.
Oh, nice.
And there isn't anything I can't say to her. I mean, she has no expectations of me, and I have no expectations of her as far as our relationship. We have a wonderful relationship, and it drives some of her girlfriends absolutely batshit crazy. You're letting your ex-husband in the house, and you go somewhere.
So
well, it used to be my house, and she's a good mom. She's like my sister. She never remarried, and she kept the name Goodall. Everybody knows her as that.
I mean, yeah. If she doesn't have a problem with it and you don't, it annoys me when others do.
Yeah.
Because I have an not an ex-wife. I wasn't married, but I have the same situation with an ex-girlfriend. But and our sister, like, she doesn't believe that me and her are friends. Her sister always tells her that he has an ulterior motive, like that I'm doing something sneaky, like I'm trying to take her down because we broke up. And like, no, when you love somebody, I don't think you could turn that off just like that, And when somebody's like that, like you tell me with your first wife, that's an awesome thing to have in your life because it's rare. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. My first wife and I, we had a great marriage, but we buried 2 children, and marriages can't. One was bad, 2, the marriage couldn't recover.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and the thing that bothered me about losing 2 babies, or losing 2 children. Well, I had 3 preemie boys. Only one made it. It's my son James. Is everybody was all concerned about Shelley, my wife, at the time. Oh, she lost a baby. Yeah, but he died in my arms. And I wasn't allowed to grieve. It wasn't until 4 or 5 years after we filed for divorce that it finally, I forget what it was happening, but all of a sudden the grief hit me and it came out. But it was a long, long time, from between that and the time it was 82 to 89. So it was 6 or 7 years. But it's a hard road to hoe. I mean, it's no one should end up burying a child. But let's get off this subject because it's not a happy thought. Other than the fact that my first wife and I were very close. She's like my sister. Like I told my son and my daughter, I says, I still love your mom. I'm just not in love with her.
Yeah.
But I will come to her defense. Someone's going to do something against her. You better watch out because I'm a vindictive Sicilian and a good shot.
That's good.
Well, at least look at mine. What my deal was. Great, in love. And then it's like, oh, you know what you should do? You would look nice with this and this. How you should get this kind of a suit. Okay, I'll do that. Should do your hair this way. Sure, man. I'm very easygoing. Then all that. Then next thing you know, it fizzles out. And she says, you're not the guy I met when I first met you. No shit, you changed me. You know what I mean? I my clothes, my hair. I eat this, eat that. And then you say you're not the same guy that I met. Get the fucking, no kidding.
Well, you spent the last 3 years or 5 years trying to change me. That's why I'm not
exactly.
The same person. Yeah.
And I hope she sees this. I go like this. Oh God! You know what's funny is that in case I don't think she's watching, as soon as this is over, I'll be texting. I was just kidding. You know that, right?
Right? Yeah. Just wanted to fit in.
There's all sorts of There's all sorts of daggers coming to you on your emojis. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh boy.
So what about Antarctica?
It's cold down there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this fall I'm going to resubmit a letter. It probably won't happen. Yeah, it probably won't take effect for a year, but I'm going to reapply for the Air Force to sponsor me going to Antarctica for 2 weeks.
That would be amazing.
I'll fly out of McCord to Christchurch, and then everything is based out of Christchurch. I think it's 10 hours into McMurdo Sound from Christchurch on a C-17, and I want to go to the South Pole.
There has to be. I mean, think about it, because like when we talk about the oceans, like the Mariana Trench goes way down, but that's not the deepest part. But that goes down miles, and we haven't studied anything under the ocean. So what's to say that there isn't an inner Earth? Okay, we it gets stigmatized, or people will laugh at it. Even here's the funny thing: the UFO, the stigma that came along with that, right? All the ridicule. But people in ufology understand that and didn't like that. Mm-hmm. But there's people in ufology that'll laugh at you if you talk about the inner Earth, like that's way out of bounds or something like that. No, why is that not possible? If you could tell me reasons why it wouldn't be possible, then maybe I'll go, okay. But there's really, you can't tell me there's any reason. You know what I mean? So, and looking at it, I don't know. There was something with Byrd that's a big part of history with Robert Byrd, with him going down there and then coming right back. That's why I said it was either truly an attack from the ocean. And there's even images in that folder somewhere that I don't know if those are real or artist rendition of it, but either he went down there and they got attacked and they just split and came back, because they didn't go down there. Who goes with an armada just to go look at stuff? He went with an armada down there. And no. There's I have a folder too. Let me see the folder that I sent you. Let me just look something, because there's a picture.
To grab some images.
There's one that let me see. Nope, that's not it. There's one that I want you to see. Bum bum. And it's funny, I was looking at it before, but when you were talking, oh wait, it's like you keep going down. It's
Mhm.
in the folder. It's in the folder sources.
Oh, this. Oh, in saucers. Okay, hold on a
Go in
second.
sources
Okay.
and scroll all the way down. It's one of the ones that have red highlighting on the bottom of it.
Okay.
No, that one on the left.
This one.
That one, yeah. Open that one, and then you'll see.
Interesting.
See that has the Hannibal there, but you see on
Yeah.
the right, like if you could zoom that in or something. I don't know. Like I can't tell you. It's like that could probably be just a drawing because I'm looking at the ship all the way in the background too, all
Yeah.
the way back
The
there.
background
But
definitely.
I thought he went down there. They got attacked. They head back, and if that really didn't happen, then it could have been a delivery, drop off a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the latter though. Let me see. What does it say, Enzo? Ron, I can see large city-sized cave systems. The hollow planet with the little sun on the inside is a bit much for me personally. Yeah, but you know, Enzo, I don't mean like something we seen in the Land of the Lost or something that, or like in one of these shows that you fall down in a cave and like, what? Oh, here's like another level of ground and there's like all waterfalls and it's just a giant hole for the rest of the earth. But why can't there be pockets like that?
Mm.
Why
Yeah.
can't there be pockets like that? You know what I mean? I think that's very possible. And it could be inhabited by people, maybe not. I don't know, but I
Yeah.
think it's possible. I don't see why
Certainly
not.
possible. Yeah. I mean, especially if those civilizations are much older than us, clearly, if that's the case. It's possible that they could have created some sort of like solar alternative that they could use. But I mean, I agree that's one that's a little bit tougher for me. But at the same time, I also agree with you, Ron. Like, if I can't prove that it doesn't exist or can't exist, I can't completely rule it out either.
And remember, the lower you go, the hotter it gets. So, you know, but the thing is, I don't know. I think, but see, I'm not one that I go around. That's not one of my big beliefs. Like
Yeah.
that, I'm a mid earther. I'm definitely not a flat earther. Let me tell you, but I'm not one of those. But when I see that and it comes up, that's something that I don't just dismiss right away because I think that could be very possible.
Yeah.
Like that. Maybe not like they're drawn in cartoons and like how they make it look in the movies, but you know, I don't see why not. And maybe like you said, Enzo, it maybe it's a cave system that's really big and it just so happens that you know there's trees or whatever down there and they're in the caves. That's fine too. I don't care, but I'm just saying a habitable place or something. Who knows?
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, it's certainly possible with the right technology that you could terraform the inside of the earth, I would imagine.
Oh.
Possible.
Yeah. See, and this all came about, Enzo, because Jim had to come out and say, "What about the South Pole?" See,
Right.
It's always my fault. Oh shit. Yeah.
It's awesome. What are your thoughts on that, Jim? I don't think I've ever heard you say one way or the other what you think about maybe an inner Earth civilization.
I mean, I think it's very possible to have subterranean cities and subterranean people.
Yeah.
But somewhere, I mean, when you see movie depictions of inner Earth, they have a blue sky. Now,
no, that I don't believe that would happen. Yeah.
Yeah, how are they getting a blue sky? Maybe a brown sky or one that has a lot of roots dangling from it. So you know, that part kind of bothers me. But I think in today's world we've only investigated and know about 5% of what's in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
They keep finding critters that they thought were extinct for 100 or 200 years, and they pop up here and there every once in a while. There are, there were beings in the forest here in North America that have been, the American Indians have reported seeing them, and people have been talking about them. I'm talking about Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
Yet we don't have one in a zoo. We don't have one in a sideshow at a circus. We don't have one
body, nothing.
We don't have one stuffed at Jonah Brothers in downtown Anchorage. Are they real? There's way too many people, and I saw a video when we were in Las Vegas in April.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a video that can't be shared, but apparently it came off of a military helicopter. But it was an area, and it supposedly was on a military reservation. They had the floor. They had the forward-looking infrared tracker. Mm-hmm. And they're chasing a Sasquatch through the forest, and the resolution is sharp. I mean, it is 5K or 4K equivalent resolution. And this thing, he's he's doing the same, running that it's in the that original video way back when, or 8mm. I can't remember the name of it. The couple who captured Sasquatch. But one of the, as they're chasing it, and it keeps looking up. I mean, you can see definition of his hands, his feet. I mean, it's infrared. It's bright, and I'm assuming it's a he. Mm-hmm. As he's going through the forest, there's a clearing that the guys on the helicopter were familiar with. Oh shit! I just dropped a glass of water on a brand new rug.
Oh no!
Yeah, shit. Excuse me.
Yeah, no worries. Do what you gotta do. The Robertson Gimlet. Nathan.
Yeah, I was just reading that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a towel. I'll be right back.
Yeah. No worries.
Oh, that's like a paranormal. He just disappeared into his bookshelf. Did you see that? It's just like... Oh, boy.
That's hilarious.
But I don't know. I think there's so many things possible, but you know what? Here's something that I think he's going to be a little heated for a while, so I figure I'll talk now. Here's something that he's got like a little wormhole coming from his closet. Like that.
Sometimes when he moves his arm, it'll disappear.
Yeah. But I think here's something that's been on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
If it's about a year ago, right? That China, the US, and the United Arab Emirates, I think it's the UAE, right?
Yeah.
Within a 3-week span, they all went on missions to Mars. They all got there within 21 days of each other. Now, I understand there's a window to launch that it's the shortest trip possible, less fuel consumption. But we had all three going at the same time, not like a year apart. They have all this time. And so where I'm getting my conspiracy thoughts from is now they're all doing it over the moon now. They're all launching. There's about 4 countries now, 5 that all want to go to the moon within the next 6 months.
Interesting.
What's the whole press now? All these decades, and everybody talk about, but now they're all going to go to the moon now.
Right.
Just like they all went to Mars last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I just feel something is wrong, and I also felt something about. You okay, Jim?
Yeah.
No, and I also feel that. Oh wait, what was that? That was. Oh, like you see, you have the billionaires. How they're all testing their toys at the same time. Remember, we have Richard Branson, Jeff Bezos. Then you got Elon and all that, all their little trips. Oh, that is a trip so people could go to space for real quick and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big conspiracy person, but this is one that when my mind starts going on it, I feel like there's just something up.
Yeah.
That they're like, either they see in a rock that has a huge chance of hitting us a decade from now, or something, and they're just preparing stuff out to see what can be done. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just weird that.
There's probably an asteroid out there that does have our name on it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Or another planet.
Yeah. Right. I think it was Enzo who showed it to me one morning. There's like a website that shows you like asteroids that are headed towards Earth, like when they're coming by, how close they get. I was just
yeah, I do that on my channel all the time with the asteroids.
Yeah.
I use NASA's database they have, and it has a thing called Ion Asteroids.
Mm-hmm.
And they even have a thing that I always do updates on with the close approaches. They always show the next 5 close approaches, and it's insane. It's insane, Lynn.
Yeah, it's crazy. And terrifying. That's the Enzo, speaking of the devil. Mars, I could see taking advantage of closer proximity for timing, but the moon isn't getting closer. That's suspicious. That is true.
That's what I'm getting at, Enzo, is like they're all rushing there now. And I was just reading today, and I didn't take note of who, but I know China already has an orbiter, but we're sending South Korea, and I could stay here for another 80 minutes trying to remember because I'm terrible like that. But I know it was 4 of them that are looking to get there in the next 6 months. So
yeah, like, what's the rush? Why everybody doing it all?
240,000 miles away. Right. Less than a quarter, like, like, I don't understand it. Now, like, and as a matter of fact, it's not even that they're trying to get some stuff to orbit. No, they want to just go to the moon. I'm telling you, something's up. Something's totally up with them. Yeah. And the asteroids is they're trying to tell people that the asteroids that are like 1,000 meters and more, we already know where they all are in the. No, you don't. You think you know. They don't know every giant asteroid that's out there. They're trying to tell us they do. They don't know because, if anything, when I do my updates, when I use the NASA's database system, it'll show you, like, this one is like, let's just say it's a 60-foot meteor, like what, 20 meters or something like that. Still, that's a big rock like that. Because think about the room you're in, then think about the footage going, yeah, if this was full of a giant iron rock with an iron and nickel rock. But anyway, they'll show that and it'll say first observe, and it'll show you it'll show you the day before. So basically they just discovered it. And they find 4 every day, new ones.
There's a group at Kitt Peak National Observatories outside of Tucson. They have 2, I think it's 2.1 meter telescope. That's an 8-foot primary mirror. But they have two of them that are only there for skywatch. They're not looking for new Earth orbit, crossing asteroids and rocks and comets. They're not looking for it. They're just keeping track of the ones we know of. It's like 8 or 9,000 that are known to be, crossing our orbit, and eventually they're going to hit. One of them is going to hit. And the other thing that's interesting, and I spent a couple of years up at Kitt Peak as a docent, and that was fascinating as hell. But one of the things that was really telling, he said, you see the movies going through the asteroid belt, and these rocks are everywhere, and you're trying to work your way around them and whatever. The average distance of objects in the asteroid belt is 250,000 miles. There's nothing close. If you go through the asteroid belt and you hit something, you were really, really unlucky, or you were a real bad navigator and you weren't watching where you're driving.
Yes, like they said, in a few billion years, Andromeda galaxy is going to collide with the Milky Way galaxy. But remember I said the Milky Way is 100,000 light years across. It's big. These 2 galaxies could actually hit each other not one star touch each other.
Yeah.
Because they're literally light years apart like that. So two galaxies could go like this through each other, and it'll still be really bad for us, but not one star, not one collision, because space is so incredibly, it's
Empty.
It's incredible how big it is. I don't know. I start thinking about it. I could get a headache from thinking about it.
Yeah.
It is pretty incomprehensible when you think about like the distances between things.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I've mentioned a couple of times, not here, but elsewhere, they figure, and this is official National Science Foundation data, that just before I left Kitt Peak, we had a gathering of all the astronomers, technicians, and docents for a pop and pizza party at the University of Arizona. And the head of National Science Foundation said that he had just returned from a conference of everybody looking for exoplanets. And based on proven mathematical formulas and such, that they calculate for every star in the universe, there's 1.5 planets. And out of that number, that are 2 billion, that's with a B, 2 billion Earth-like planets orbiting a similar size brown dwarf star as our sun in the inhabitable zone with liquid water. And to quote Jodie Foster's character in the movie Contact, if we're the only ones, what a waste of space.
It's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah. And that, to me, that's one of the most incredible statements and quotes from an astronomer. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's really telling. There's 2 billion, it could be 2 billion Earths. Not counting.
That's just based on what we know.
Well, think about it. They already found, discovered over, that we already have logged data on it, over 5,000 exoplanets in the Milky Way alone.
It's closer to 8,000 now.
Yeah, but that's just in the Milky Way.
Yeah.
So, and we have probably trillions of galaxies, trillions. Even if it's billions, right? Which I think it's more, but anyway, let's just say for argument's sake, let's say there was 100 billion galaxies, right? 100 billion. If our galaxy, which is 100,000 light years across, and there's probably, that's all they found, around 8,000 now, there's probably, let's say, 1 million in this thing, in 100 billion. That's just insane. And now they just said, the scientists I was reading out of Harvard, that they believe the universe is actually much bigger than we thought it was. Like, if that's even possible. You know what I mean?
It was supposed to happen in 2022, but because of COVID, it's been delayed. They should be getting first light probably mid-2023 on the giant Magellan telescope. It's in Chile. It's at 16,000 feet, and it utilizes 7 27-foot diameter mirrors that are all made at the University of Arizona at the Mirror Lab. And they said they should be able to look back within 100,000 years of first light. And one of the things the James Webb telescope, I saw it posted yesterday. It's in a relatively close galaxy to the Milky Way, but it's a star, and it's a significant star. And I should remember
them. Forget that. You're thinking it was somebody said Alpha Centauri. It was like a red one, And
there were 8 planets around this star.
Well, this guy posted a picture yesterday of an image so-called from the James Webb. And what happened was he had to apologize because the staff at the university made him. It was actually a picture of sausage.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
You saw, okay, that's why I said, wait, I thought you were going to go into that.
Oh, no.
So you believe that? The guy put a picture of sausage and said it was a star. And it looks like a star. Like that. Yeah. And everybody spread that, right? He put the freaking sausage.
Yeah,
Like that.
but this is a picture of a star, and it's one of the big ones. It's 10 light years away or something like that. But it had 6 or 7 planets around it that you could discern what they were. And the James Webb is just, I mean, it hasn't even gotten its first baby tooth yet. Can you imagine when it has a full set of choppers, what it's going to spit out? I mean, it's going to be incredible. I know just before it, right after it was launched, and before it was in their the parking orbit, I posted a picture of the first image from the James Webb Telescope, and it was the back of a removed before flight cover.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can do
it's
something
true.
right. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
It's really true, though. You're not lying.
I know. When they ground the mirror for the Hubble, what the Hubble Space Telescope is a modified version of the KH-11 Big Bird satellite. It's the same thing. And what they did, I think, when Ball was grinding the primary mirror for the Hubble, they were grinding it to the same specifications as the KH-11. So they had to go in there and change the secondary mirror because the focal point was different, because of the shape of the mirror. But I think they screwed up and did a KH-11 mirror versus a Hubble mirror, and that's what the problem was.
It's too bad. Also, what's it? The Spitzer? Was it the Spitzer? It's too bad that one. I think that's what it is. That one's shot, like done, because that one was finding all the exoplanets.
Uh-huh.
But they built it, and that's the thing. I hate that they're building disposable satellites now. I mean, they're not going to always last all the time, but with Hubble had a certain lifetime and it's still producing top-notch stuff. Then you see with Webb, when they launched Webb, they kept saying it has a 10-year lifespan because we cannot refuel it. Then that changed to 25 years, then back down to 20. Now, after it got hit with micrometeoroids, and they're saying, whoa, now they're a little nervous, saying we anticipated this, but not these bigger ones. And now they're making sure everybody understands. Just know originally we set out that it will have a 5-year lifespan. So they went from 10 to 25 to 20 back to 5 now. And then they go back to 10. So hopefully, I'm just surprised. I mean, I guess it's, what do you call that, Jim? Monday morning quarterbacking. But
right.
It's that, but when you're working on something for over a decade and you're saying that, yeah, we anticipated, we did some tests with it, I don't think there's much they can be done to their credit. You know what I mean? But it would be nice if there was something able to, I don't know. I don't even know what, because in the vacuum of space and it's so nasty out there, who knows? But it's like something that I don't freaking even know, like a netting. Not even a netting, just.
I mean, what's really amazing as far as longevity goes, Voyager 1 and 2 are still transmitting.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
40 years later.
Right.
Yeah.
Opportunity, the Mars rovers, one of them was supposed to last, I think it was 30 days or 60 days. It's now gone 10 years and it's still working.
Right.
So
I think they're getting to a point though, NASA, where when they go to get money or whatever, like saying, why, what do you need money for? You got this guy that's still running for 30 years. So now they're building like disposable stuff that's going to die in a few years so they could get money.
Yeah.
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 But
It's
I
like
just
when
hope Webb makes it a long time. I really do hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or you're going to have, you're going to see a flying saucer come up to it, and the little green guy comes out with a spray can and goes. Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see that. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will.
That's awesome.
Now, see, I got a visual with that now.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Oh,
Little
man.
intergalactic graffiti.
Yeah.
Squeegee men on Mars. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we didn't talk a whole hell of a lot about Antarctica, but I sure in the hell have a fun time tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
I
And-
did too. I did too. I
and
can
it's-
say
it-
I appreciate you having me on.
No, it's fun. It's fun. And anytime you, as long as it's not a Monday night from 5 to 7 plus, drop me a line.
Okay.
I mean, and all you got to do is tell Michael Jim's going to be on, and the two of us come on, and we'll have a fun time.
Oh, yeah, I would love that. Just so you know, like right now, because with the stream, I usually do it on Saturdays.
Uh-huh.
Saturdays at 3:00 is when the show is. But just like my first show, Michael, there was an issue, and he said, "Can we do it at 7:00 at night?" And I said, "Sure." So, I mean, whenever we make this happen or whatever, if there's some kind of schedule issue, I'll mold it around whatever you guys want. That's all. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that.
No,
I don't have no boundaries. I'll freaking stream when I want. That's it.
Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah, no, I look forward to it. So I just want to say it again, Lynn. I am not trying to steal your co-host, okay?
Oh, I know.
You know that, and I don't think he would. I wouldn't do that because he wouldn't. Who would want to leave you? You know,
That's
what I mean?
right.
Come on.
That's right.
Oh, that's very
Like
sweet.
that. Leave her for me. Yeah, okay. Like that. They would really put the room out there that Jim Goodall's lost his mind.
Yeah.
They would really say that.
No,
But no, I look forward to that. And just as with Jim, once I start doing more of the guessing, that of course I'm going to ask you too, Lynn, to come on.
Oh, sure, anytime. I'd love to.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
want to make that happen.
And
But
I can't
for
wait
now,
to see the dioramas.
yeah, for now, my life is just hell.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, thank you, Michael. Thank you, buddy.
That's awesome.
Oh my! But yeah,
that's wonderful.
Well, he called me about 20 minutes before we were supposed to start, and he said, "Where are you going to be this weekend?" I said, "Minnesota." I said, "Oh, darn!" I said, "Why's that?" And they said, "Yeah, Allie Lear, John Lear's daughter, is giving him full access to all of John's files."
oh, he's gonna have fun.
Because she asked me at his memorial service. He said, "You're one of John's oldest and dearest friends. Who would you recommend to have access to that to John's stuff?" I said, "There's only one person, as far as I'm concerned. That's Michael Schratt."
Yeah.
And so he called her, started made the initial talk with her, and of course he passed away in April, end of March.
Not too long ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Michael's been sort of chomping at the bit, wanting to get to the stuff, and he's been playing phone tag with Allie. But I got a firm appointment. He's flying in there this weekend, and probably he'll probably wherever his filing cabinets and stuff are, he'll probably bring a pillow there and just go through everything. And he's to bring his scanner with him too.
He's just awesome. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
It really is.
We spent
Telling
all
you,
this.
everybody out there, you don't know what you're missing with him. He's a gem. Don't support that man. Whatever he does, I'm telling you.
He's probably in today's UFO community. He's probably the brightest star there.
He's the guy that I want to see being on with Tucker Carlson and this one and that one. He's the guy that's supposed to be there talking.
Yeah,
not these little charlatans that call themselves, they name themselves an expert,
Right.
or they were like the Fox Mulder of Britain and all this crap. He needs to be on there, and it just sucks. I wish I had contacts that I could let them know that, because just we got to get stuck with people like Jeremy Doorbell and this guy and all that. Get out of here. You know?
You're not going to get an argument from me at all. So. Yeah, Lynn and I were talking that before the program started also. Yeah.
Jeremy Doorbell, that's great.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love
He
it.
is.
Most
I almost
everybody.
broke my pencil. I was getting stressed out.
Oh.
Well, it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes,
Mm.
and I have a dog that is. She's been at the door of my office. I can tell that she's there.
Yeah.
And I have a rescue German Shepherd, and she's my baby.
Oh man!
And my wife Rosemary never had a dog that was part of the family. She had farm dogs and outside dogs, but not one that you sort of look at as a quasi human being. I mean, it's just, and she's just nuts about Scarlet, and it just cracks me up. And I told her for 10 years, so we need to get a Hey, my dog she doesn't like thunderstorms. We have a brand new rug. Actually, we have new carpeting, throughout the house. About half the house is tile, and those areas we have area rugs. Brand new rug. She had diarrhea on it.
Oh,
Aw.
poor Scarlet.
And fortunately, I'm really good at taking poop out of carpeting, because she does it every once in a while, and we don't know why. There's nothing worse than before your morning coffee to walk out to the living room and finding this beige colored carpeting thing about this big, and it's like someone got a bowl of fairly thick.
We are so far away from the South Pole. You know what I mean? I mean, we've covered everything.
Yeah.
I mean, except the South Pole.
We're just a couple of sick human beings.
That's awesome.
What can I say?
Can I answer just one thing real quick with Enzo?
Sure.
Yeah.
Enzo, with regard to the dioramas, no, I usually make one diorama. But being that I opened my mouth and told Michael that, you know what would be a great idea? If I made the 3 different scenes and made one giant diorama. Now I'm making 3 dioramas. But what I'm doing this time around, which is unorganized, I'm trying to make all the models first of the vehicles, then all that stuff, which it just was the wrong thing to do. I'll put it that way. I could spend an hour talking about it. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow on my show, but I usually do one diorama. And from now on going forward, I'm going to do one diorama. That's it. So hope that answers your question, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, I meant to ask you that. Oh, my goodness. Well, it has been a fun night.
It is always a fun night with Lynn.
It is.
So
That is
yes.
true. That is.
And I love it. I love the guests she brings on, and
Great.
I'm glad I'm there to help and contribute.
I was thrilled when she invited me on, because when I watched the show with you and everything, I was like, oh, absolutely. So it's my honor, both of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It was our pleasure for having you on, and whenever it's convenient for you, get hold of Michael and myself. Sure. And we'll just take it from there. Yeah, Lynn has all my information how to get hold of me, and
got it. Is she a publicist too?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm his manager. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And I have Lynn's number. It's on a stencil, and I go into men's rooms all day and spray for a good time. And you'll have even more fun if you're an alien.
Weekend tonight, huh? Right? I think you have a Graffiti Jones or something going on.
Yeah. So,
oh my goodness,
that's hilarious.
So Ron, I want to thank you for a wonderful 2.5 hours. I mean, it was just a gas, and it's always, Lynn, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And then you have that pain that comes in there every once in a while. His name is what, Dave? Yeah, yeah. And I'm looking forward to meeting that guy here one of these days too.
Yeah,
And if I get out to the East Coast and I get up to Boston, then I'll have a chance to meet him.
Yes, that would be great.
So yeah. And again, Ron, it's been a gas. We have to get you on again and talk about Antarctica.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, at least I know now that everything's on the table, what we could talk about. So that's fine. Now I don't have to say, "Hey, Lynn, what are we talking about?" No.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So with that, we're gonna call it a good night. Ron, it's been an absolute delight. Lynn, it's always a delight dealing with you, working with you, and being part of your team. And I really appreciate it. And,
I love having you here with me.
And thank you again. Thank you so much for having me on. And anytime, just let me know. Okay.
All right.
And I'll be in touch, Jim.
All right. Sounds good. Lynn, have a wonderful evening. Give my best to Dave.
I will.
And I'll just tell him I look forward to meeting him one of these days.
Yes.
And with that, I'm going to say adios, aloha. And,
good night, everybody.
You take care. Adios.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night. Bye, Lynn.
Thanks.